Welcome to Technia TV. I, Kinika Saini, faculty of BBA department from Technia Institute of Advanced Studies, is going to deliver a lecture on human resource planning. So what are the benefits of human resource planning? First, the human resource planning helps in forecasting the future needs of the manpower, and not only this, but it also helps in anticipating the vacancies arising in the near future. Second, it is cost effective, that is, the enterprise can anticipate the shortage and surplus of manpower and can control the imbalance that may become unmanageable or expensive. Third, better planning for the employee development. Through human resource planning, the skills of the existing employees can be improved by giving them timely training and development opportunities. Fourth, training programs become more effective since the manpower gaps arising out of shortage or surplus can be determined through the manpower planning and the training can be imparted accordingly. Fifth, it helps to make the strategic decisions related to the hiring and training of the manpower in the case of shortage and layoff, termination or replacement of the manpower in a case of surplus. Sixth, through human resource planning, the idle arising out of vacancy can be reduced and thus the overall performance of the business remains unaffected. Thus, through human resource planning, the firms can effectively manage the manpower requirements, both current and future, and also helps in reducing the lead time spent on searching the prospective candidate for the vacant position. Next is human resource planning process. Determining the objectives of human resource planning. The foremost step in every process is the determination of objectives for which the process is to be carried on. The objective for which the manpower planning is to be done should be defined precisely so as to ensure that a right number of people for the right kind of job are selected. The objectives can vary across the several departments in the organization, such as the personnel demand may differ in marketing, finance, production, HR department, or based on their roles or functions. Second is analyzing current manpower inventory. The next step is to analyze the current manpower supply in the organization through the stored information about the employees in terms of their experience, proficiencies, skills, etc. required to perform a particular job. Also, the future vacancies can be estimated so as to plan for the manpower from both the internal within the current employees and the external hiring candidates from outside sources. Third is forecasting demand and supply of human resources. Once the inventory of talented manpower is maintained, the next step is to match the demand for the manpower arising in the future with the supply or available resources with the organization. Here, the required skills of personnel for a job are matched with the job description and specification. Fourth is analyzing the manpower gaps. After forecasting the demand and supply, the manpower gaps can be easily evaluated. In case the demand is more than the supply of human resources, that means there is a deficit and thus new candidates are to be hired. Whereas, if the demand is less than supply, there arises a surplus in the human resources and hence the employees have to be removed either in the form of termination, retirement, layoff, transfer, etc. Fifth is employment plan or action plan. Once the manpower gaps are evaluated, the action plan is to be formulated accordingly. In the case of a deficit, the firm may go either for recruitment, training, interdepartmental transfer plans, whereas in the case of a surplus, the voluntary retirement schemes, redeployment, transfer, layoff could be followed. Sixth is training and development. The training is not only for the new joinees but also for the existing employees who are required to update their skills from time to time. After the employment plan, the training programs are conducted to equip the new employees as well as the old ones with the requisite skills to be performed on a particular job. Last is appraisal of manpower planning. Finally, the effectiveness of the manpower planning process is to be evaluated. Here, the human resource plan is compared with its actual implementation to ensure the availability of a number of employees for several jobs. Thus, human resource planning is a continuous process that begins with the objectives of human resource planning and ends with the appraisal or feedback and control of the planning process. Next topic is limitations of human resource planning. First, the future is uncertain. There are external factors, that is technological, political, cultural, etc., that affects the employment opportunities. Therefore, the management can consider the human resource planning as a guiding factor and cannot rely on it completely. Second, with the surplus manpower, the companies try to remove this imbalance using termination, layoff, removal of the existing employees. This could create a sense of insecurity among them, and that would result in the loss of their faith in the company. Third is the human resource planning is time consuming since it collects the complete information regarding the personnel requirements of each department and then finds the suitable sources to satisfy the needs. Next is the human resource planning is an expensive process. All the activities carried out from the time the manpower need arises till the final placement of employees, it consumes a lot of time and is very expensive. Thus, the firm must carry out the human resource planning cautiously since it is accorded with several limitations that can adversely affect the overall functioning of the firm. Next topic is factors affecting human resource planning. Human resource planning is influenced by several considerations. Some of them are first, type of organization. The type of organization determines the production process and number and type of staff needed. Manufacturing organizations have a more complex structure compared to service organizations. It goes without saying that the HRP differs according to the nature of the organization. Second is strategy of organization. The human resource needs of an organization depend on the strategic planning adopted by it. For example, growth of the business calls for hiring of additional labor, while mergers will need a plan for layoffs. Third is environmental uncertainties. HR managers rarely have the privilege in a stable and predictable environment. Political, social, and economic changes affect all organizations. Personnel planners deal with environmental uncertainties by carefully formulating recruitment, selection, and training and development policies and programs. Balancing mechanisms are built into the HRM program through succession planning, promotion channels, layoffs, flexi time, job sharing, retirement, VRS, and other personnel related arrangements. Next is time period. Yet another major factor affecting personnel planning is the horizon. On one hand, there are short-term plans spanning 6 months to 1 year. On the other hand, there are long-term plans which spread over 3 to 20 years. The exact time span, however, depends on the degree of certainty prevailing in an organization's environment. Plans for companies operating in an unstable environment, computers, for example, must be for a short period. Plans for others where environment is fairly stable, for example, a university plans may be long term. The greater the uncertainty, the shorter the plan's time horizon and vice versa. Next is information. The type and quality of information used in making forecast is an important factor influencing human resource planning. In the absence of a well-developed information mechanism, human resource planning is just impossible. Accurate and timely human resource information system helps in getting better quality personnel. Next is nature of jobs being filled. Job vacancies are very common and arise due to promotions, retirements, termination of services, growth, expansion, etc. Human resource planning is required to ensure that suitable candidates are recruited. Last is offloading. This implies giving part of the organization's work to outside parties. If an organization prefers offloading to recruitment of more people, human resource planning is not required. So I hope you understood this topic of human resource planning. For more videos like this, please subscribe to Technia TV. Thank you so much.